Hi guys, Chris here, and you're watching Here We Are Running
Down Under.
Thanks for joining me on a brand new little mini series following these adventures in Australia over the next few weeks. And when I go away on holiday, one thing I have to do before anything else is pack those running shoes, because when I'm on holiday I do like to go on a bit of exploring, experience some running in a different country. And on this mini series we're going to be doing just that. As well as that, as you know, parkrun's really big here in Australia, so we will be taking part in parkrun, and on top of that I've also got a race planned. So stay tuned for the future episodes as we run down under. It is so beautiful here. Now the camera won't do it justice, it's just so nice, take my word for it. And guys, this adventure started off on Monday night when we left Heathrow for a flight destined to Singapore. We landed about 12.5 hours later when it was the evening of Tuesday in Singapore. We were doing a stop over there. I had thought, you know, I might get a chance to run whilst we were out in Singapore. It was about 31 degrees Celsius, but it felt like 42 degrees Celsius. Never seen anything like that before, and there was no way I was running in 42 degree temperatures. So we gave that one the knock on the head, and on Wednesday night, that's when we flew from Singapore to Brisbane, which is on the Queensland kind of coast. We've driven up from there about an hour and a half away to a place called Noosa Heads to be specific, and that's where I'm out today. There's a few runners out at the moment, a lot more surfers. Some surfers who are actually running along this path. But we're in the southern hemisphere here, and of course it's the winter time in August, but the temperatures are lovely. At low 20 degrees Celsius, nice enough to sit out on the beach, do a bit of sunbathing, get into the sea, or you could just be like me and go for a run. I've got to say though, at the moment my body clock does not know what time it is, what day it is, or anything. It's actually Friday. Woke up this morning, felt quite good, thought I might have adjusted, but at lunchtime I was completely crashing. I think this run has woken me up a little bit.
Well, this location really should need no introductions whatsoever. And that's right, we've made it down to Sydney, caught the 1.5 hour flight early in the week down from the Sunshine Coast all the way to Sydney. And we've been enjoying ourselves, but I felt I needed to get out on a run to really explore the sights of Sydney a little bit more. We set off on today's run, starting on the North Shore. We've just headed across the Harbour Bridge. You can see the Opera House there. You can see the city skyline. We've now come off of the bridge, come down through the area called the Rocks, and we're arriving here at Circular Quay, where you can catch a ferry to a lot of different places. You can also get some great views of the Opera House. And And apologies if the audio isn't great on this video, because the mic has decided to completely pack in. So I'm just going on the mics on the camera itself, which aren't the best. Well, the old house and the bridge are over there. We've run around the coastline on a nice flat tarmac path. We're heading towards Mrs. Macquarie's Point. Should get a good view from there. And once we've got there, we're going to go inland a little bit through the Botanic Gardens and towards the city. How lucky are you guys that live in Sydney and are able to go for a morning run with that as your backdrop? What a fantastic sort of setting this is. In the Botanic Gardens, directly in front of me I've got the Governor's House. Beyond that you can see a glimpse of the bridge with the flags on top. Over there you've got the city, and over there you've got the rest of the Botanic Gardens. Okay, well, we've made it through the city, quite stop and start with all the traffic lights and pedestrian crossings, but we made it to Darling Harbour, which, as I found out when I was having lunch here the other day, is quite popular with the office workers coming out here and go for a run alongside the harbour area. Now, I've seen most of these sites before. They've changed quite a bit, but I used to live in Sydney for a couple of years. That was 20 years ago though, so things have changed. And this bit we're going through now, Barangaroo Reserve, that didn't exist then, so quite interested to see what they've done here. And just like that, it's our final day of our trip to Australia. Heading home tomorrow, so by the time you see this video and the other videos in this mini series, we'll be back in the UK. But it's been really enjoyable, and whilst I'm doing some laps here at the local park, which got a nice concrete marked out 548 metre track around the park, so I'm just doing a few laps here whilst the boys are playing some football. Now, the other runs that I've done whilst I've been in Australia, namely 2 park runs, one at Noosa, one here in Sydney, and also the race I did, which was the City to Surf. Now, that video is probably coming out ahead of this one. If you haven't seen it already, go back and watch it. And as for the park runs, depending on when you're watching this video, they may already be released or they may be coming out in the future, so make sure you subscribe to the channel. And guys, please do give this video a thumbs up as well, that always helps. I hope you've enjoyed these videos I've been making whilst here in Australia. As I say, we'll now be back in the UK and we'll be focusing on the next challenge, which for me, I'm going to be a race pacer at this year's Reigate Half Marathon. So if anybody is looking to do
sub 2 at the half marathon in Reigate, let me know, because you can join my group and we'll get you there, hopefully to a new PB. That is the final run done for my time here in Australia. Guys, as always, if you enjoyed the video, please do give it a thumbs up, give the video a like. If you're new around here, why not consider subscribing? But for now, guys, goodbye.